Okay, so imagine this. There are two people that tomorrow are going to have to do a speech in front of 100 people. Now, be honest and tell me which of the two will perform better, in your opinion. The guy A, who is someone who doesn't worry about the fact that tomorrow he's going to have to do a speech in front of 100 people, but instead focuses on the fact that he can prepare his speech now, and so he prepares his speech and he makes it flawless and interesting to all the other people. He doesn't give that much attention or any of his energy to the fact that tomorrow there's going to be this event, because he realized that the event is going to take place anyway and he cannot do anything about it. Then there is the guy B that instead keeps panicking about the fact that tomorrow he's going to be hosting a speech in front of 100 people and they're going to be judging him and looking at him weird, and maybe he messes up his speech and they're going to judge him for that, right? And so he sees himself failing his speech and fumbling his words, and everyone is laughing at him. The very second he tries to go back and focus on his speech and writing it down and studying it, his brain keeps telling him about the fact that he's going to fail. And he will fail 100%. It's inevitable because of the fact that he's not preparing his speech. And so this kind of loop creates where he keeps worrying about the fact that tomorrow is going to fail because he is not writing down the speech. And he's not writing down the speech because he keeps worrying about it. This guy doesn't realize, or hasn't realized yet, that he should instead just relax and control what he can control. Now, what you need to realize is that you can choose which path to follow, or which person, A or B, to be more similar to. It's very easy to fall into the B option. And that's because our brain, and mine too, this happens to me as well, our brain likes to play games with us, and it likes to kind of make us worry too much about things that we shouldn't instead. We just need to realize that in life there are two kind of things. The things that we have control over, and the things we don't have control over. And we should tell our brain, or convince our brain to only worry about the things that we can control. And instead, let the things that we cannot control just happen and take place, because they're going to take place anyway, because we don't have control over them. Like if we have a similar situation to the one in my example of the speech in front of 100 people, if you have a similar situation, you need to analyze and realize that there are two kinds of things. In all situations, but especially in the ones that similar to my example, you can have there are things that you cannot control, like the event itself, like the fact that you're gonna take this exam, like the fact that you're gonna be there and speak to the professors or teachers, and things that you can control, like what you are doing right now, for example. Now you can control whether you go and study, or whether you go and take a walk, or whether you go and worry about the fact that tomorrow you're gonna take this exam, which is inevitable, and you cannot do anything about it. And so you have a choice between what you can do right now, but you don't have a choice whether to actually take the exam or not. You can fake sick, but that's not fucking... And so if you cannot decide whether the thing is going to happen or not, because it's going to happen, what benefit does it serve you if you actually obsess over it and think about it all the time? It doesn't benefit you in any way, so why are you doing that? Rather, you should actually focus and change what you can change, so control what you can control. And in the example I gave you, or maybe in the exam example, which is a bit maybe more relatable to you, I don't know, but in your head, just give yourself an example that you can relate to. And so in the example I gave you, you can control how good of a speech you're going to write right now, or how much you're going to study that speech. And that's pretty much one of the only things that you can control, actually, and that are going to in some way help you with tomorrow. And so that's the only thing you should worry about. And whenever your brain starts generating thoughts about oh my god, tomorrow there's gonna be 100 people watching you. Be careful, you may mess up your speech. Whenever that happens and you just get fucking overwhelmed with thoughts about, worrying thoughts about tomorrow, just tell your brain to shut up, take a couple of deep breaths, just stand still for a moment, look in a direction, take a couple of deep breaths, and tell your brain to shut the fuck up and let you focus on your work and what you can do right now. And stop worrying about useless things which are only gonna make you panic. Because, by the way, you are going to be more successful if you just take if you absolutely do nothing about tomorrow. Like, you spend the whole day before the event, you spend the whole day taking walks in the park or going to the gym or reading and stuff. Doing nothing to actually prepare for the event. You're going to be more successful if you do that instead of if you actually worry about it. Because in the first case, you're going to be at least relaxed during the speech. And chances are, if you have any preparation, of the speech, of course, you're going to at least do the speech in a more relaxed way. Instead, if you do worry about the speech for the whole day, you're going to be more stressed and probably mess up your words. You're probably going to be a lot more prone to messing up if you worry about messing up instead of just relaxing and letting your brain do the work. This has actually happened to me in real life. I usually, whenever we have tests in school and the day before, of course, I kind of revise the things that the test is going to be about. But oftentimes I don't even do it that much, especially if I know that I'm kind of prepared for the test already. And I have many of my classmates that just keep worrying about the test so fucking much, and it stresses me out how much they worry about it. And it's crazy because me, kind of revising less, because let's say I revise 2 hours the day before the test, or 1 hour, and they revise for the whole afternoon. The day before the test. For 6 hours, they just revise. I'm gonna be more successful than them. That's happened actually, and so it's crazy because one, you're gonna be less stressed. Two, you're gonna actually perform better. So I just don't know why you're not telling your brain to just shut the fuck up and let you relax in a way. Of course, working on the thing is probably gonna be more successful. It's probably gonna lead to more success, but you know what I mean. The least you worry about it and the least you stress yourself out because of it, and the more successful you're gonna be. So yeah, I think this is about it for this video. I also made another video in the past that is called like stop worrying about tomorrow or something like that, and it's very similar to this. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, hope you got something out of it, and yeah, see you in the next one.